Welcome to Darren Daily On Demand, your most trusted resource to help you become better every day. Here's your success mentor, Darren Hardy.
This morning, let me take you on a ride. We're talking about something that'll accelerate your success faster than a supersonic jet. Imagine this. The U.S. Air Force back in 1947 developed the first rocket planes capable of breaking the sound barrier. Can you imagine that? 1947. It was a spectacular achievement in aviation history, opening up the realms of possibility for aircraft design and aeronautical engineering. Now, naturally, there was one teensy problem. The pilots flying these supersonic planes kept dying. And I'm not talking about just one or two, but at an alarming rate. As these aircraft soared into the brink of Mach 2, they encountered the perilous thinness of the upper atmosphere. Tom Wolfe, in his riveting book, The Right Stuff, captures the sheer terror of these moments. A plane could skid into a flat spin and then start tumbling, not spinning, not diving, but tumbling end over end like a stone hurled from the heavens. In these desperate moments, as the world whirled by wildly around them, pilots battled the controls in vain. You couldn't maneuver out of a rocket plane tumble. Anything you tried just made it worse. Pilots would claw desperately at the controls as they hurtled to their deaths, screaming into their radios, "I've tried, I've tried, I've tried, I've tried. Tell me what else I can try." There was nothing more terrifying than doing everything you could and still hurling towards doom. And then, during one of these nightmare tumbles, a pilot named Chuck Yeager got knocked unconscious during the tumble. By the time Chuck came to, he had fallen 25,000 feet. And in the lower, denser air, he could then maneuver once again. He righted the plane and landed it safely. That is when it was discovered that in the upper levels of our atmosphere, the most effective thing that you can do with an out-of-control plane is to take your hands off the controls. Your only salvation lies in surrender. Now, I know what you're thinking. Yes, this goes against all instincts, but letting go, literally doing nothing, is the best and really the only real move that you have. This is what is called the paradox of control, where relinquishing control is the way to regain it. In psychology terms, when you attempt to control something, usually prompted by a fear or insecurity, something that is ultimately uncontrollable, it only causes worse outcomes. It is called misapplied control. Business leaders and high achievers like us often fall into the trap of misapplied control. Why? Because control is effective in so many situations. We think more control equals better results, but we can often apply it in places where it doesn't work, and that is when we get into trouble. Here's your heads up. Several instances to watch out for. Number one, fear of losing authority. Thus, you insist on approving all minor decisions. This not only slows decision-making, it undermines employees' confidence and autonomy. Number two, insecurity about team loyalty or trust. So you excessively monitor employees' work hours and breaks. This creates a culture of mistrust and reduced morale. Number three, fear of being perceived as insignificant. So you call numerous unnecessary meetings and assert your presence and control. This only disrupts productivity and focus. Number four, insecurity about market position. So you overly analyze and obsess about the competition to the point of paranoia. This diverts resources from innovation and core business functions. Number five, fear of not meeting investor expectations. So you push for short-term gains to impress stakeholders rather than focusing on sustainable long-term strategies. This also shows up in our personal life. Here are some for instances. Number one, personal worthiness insecurity. So you constantly check in on a partner's activities or question their motives. This erodes trust and intimacy in a relationship. Number two, financial hardship fears. So you overmanage household spending to the extent of scrutinizing small, unnecessary expenditures. This leads to tension and a lack of enjoyment in daily life. Number three, friendship loyalty insecurity. So you insist on planning all the social interactions and or the need of constant reassurance from your friends. This strains friendships and leads to social isolation. Number 4, parenting insecurity. So you intervene in every aspect of your child's problem-solving process. This prevents them from developing self-regulation, coping skills, and learning how to handle challenges independently. And then 5, marital insecurity. So you impose strict rules on a partner's social interactions or digital communications. This fosters more distrust and a claustrophobic relationship dynamic. Can you see how, like a supersonic plane tumbling through the air like a brick, how the fear that induces, how our natural instinct that makes us want to exert more control when that's exactly what will be most damaging? Not only is the situation uncontrollable, the more we try to control the situation, misapplying control, the worse we make it. That is the paradox of control and how we often dig our own graves. So here's the million-dollar question. To control or not to control? That is the question. So here is when and your important takeaway notes. Number 1, when the situation is uncontrollable, let it go. Let the situation play out. After you descend 25,000 feet, then the controls will work once again. Number 2, when your team is skilled and knowledgeable, let it go. Trust them to handle the situation. Number 3, when creativity and innovation is needed, let it go. Don't stifle the process with micromanagement. Number 4, when it's low stakes and learning is needed, let it go. Allow people to try and for attempts to fail. This, hopefully for you, was a super valuable mentor chat to accelerate your success. Supersonic. I hope that you got it. A lot of people died in the discovery of this principle, and a lot of businesses and relationships died not knowing this principle.